Welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Talk, and pretty much the finale of season 4. I will be honest, this episode may be a trigger warning episode to some people who probably read the bio or the description of this episode. So please, I can understand that this episode would be too hard for you guys to listen, or even if it's educational purposes, or you guys just learning how to deal with the situation with me, or whatever it could be. I just want to let you guys know that I can understand. With this topic that we're going to indulge in, the time of me recording this episode, it has been brought up to my attention a lot. It has been a conversation that some of my friends are still learning about. This may be the first time ever, despite one of my brothers learning about this episode, about this situation, because I haven't really talked about it at all since I made it public one time, and that was it. I really have not spoken about it with nobody else since then. Back in 2019, I suffered incomplete pregnancy, and there's different types of like miscarriages and terms and all that stuff like that. And one thing about me is I accept my my consequences. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew the risk I was putting myself in, but it's just like I was being oblivious. I was in denial, and I knew that this would have deferred. If the relationship continued, I knew it was going to defer a situation the situation to the point where it probably was going to force it to an end. When this situation occurred, I thought I was done with my relationship. I verbally said I was done. We're over. We're good. We're done. And me thinking I'm single or whatever, I went ahead and was trying to move forward. Typical bullshit. The person I lay with did not know until like I didn't confess the person that I conceived with a year later. I didn't mention nothing to him at all. Even when the opportunity presented itself, when I did find out that I was pregnant, I did not verbally say out loud like, hey, yo, I didn't communicate it. Because I accepted my consequences. I knew I'd accepted my faith with God during this time as well. When I found out I was pregnant, I immediately knew that the person I conceived with was going to deny me. I knew it was not the person I wanted to have a kid with. And overall, I was not ready at all. So when the nurse came back with the test and let me know that it was positive, I immediately broke down crying, and she was just like, these sad tears, and immediately I just said, can I just have the abortion clinic information? That day I sat there and just cried my eyes out. I probably told one person right then and there, just to probably just vent, and that was that with that situation. So I just went forward and proceeded to do the process of the abortion. Sitting in that clinic and just looking around, I had a hat on, so like I was really discreet. I was just so ashamed of the decision I was making, and like watching my faith go through there. But I knew that it was the best thing to do. I just knew that I had to do it. I didn't really have no choice. I just felt ashamed overall. I'm just looking around and just looking at these people who just seem like they just been there multiple times, and they're just used to it. They just comfort. They just don't give a fuck. And that's the energy I was getting from the people that was around me. And it's like a very scary sight to see, because like there's people that really sit there, know what they're doing, like I knew what I was doing, and just did not give a fuck, and just like, oh well, we're gonna just automatically just kill it. When I proceeded to like do the whole 2-day process and your whole mental check and make sure that you're mentally in the right place, know what the fuck you're doing with the decision you're making. When they said I was 9 weeks pregnant, I I mean, it was accurate because literally you go 30 days and you still haven't received your period. Yes, ma'am, that's something you need to go get figure out, bitch. Like, obviously you're pregnant. When they did the ultrasound, oh man, they wasn't saying nothing. Like, they was searching for a physical appearance. Whatever they see, the sonogram stuff, I don't understand reading it, especially in the early stages. Like, what the fuck are you looking for? You went from this doesn't look like a 9 weeks pregnancy, and they're looking the pressure she's applying onto my pelvis or uterus, like it was hurting. And I explained to her the signs I was having. Also, she was like, the test results is 9 weeks, but you're looking 6 weeks, then yeah, you're already in the process of having a miscarriage. The only pro that came out of this whole situation is the fact that they found out that I have high iron, and they said that it's rare to see in pregnancy. So kudos to me for that part. But she marked it down, saying it was 6 weeks pregnancy. Move on to the process of speaking to the guidance counselor about everything that was going on. All the guidance counselor could take away from me is the fact that she knew that I had the ability to be strong through everything and carry the weight and make it seem like it was effortless. Like, it was just easy to just pick up your shit and just go. And the one question she asked me, she was like, well, could you forgive yourself for this decision? A year later, I had a conversation with my aunt, and she said, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself in order to move forward, to heal through this. With one thing that I can hold over myself is the fact that I do not have the right to forgive myself. That's just one thing I just don't. To me, I'm a horrible person for that decision. Because in that moment, I already knew that I was getting rid of it. I literally prayed it away. I asked God, this is not the time. This is not it. I'm so not ready. I accepted that. I accepted my faith with you. I was telling Yahweh, like, I accepted whatever the consequences that will move forward with this life and the challenges that I know you will put me through for the decision that I make. I accepted it. But then when the time came to do the procedure, and man, they put me through a whole hula hoop with the stuff. And the lady, one thing that pissed me off is like, don't sit here and lie on me and don't put words in my mouth. I know this is off topic, but y'all know me. If you truly know me, you know that, like, I say what I say and, like, don't switch my words. I just wanted to get the process over with, so I didn't care. I didn't care how much it was going to cost me. I didn't care about none of that stuff. And to do the payment thing, whatever you go through, I asked them if they made a note saying to double check, because I didn't go back in until a week later to see if I would fully miscarry. We go back in. I'm mad because they giving me a rookie nurse who just came in, and I understand that she got to learn. It was irritating me because she clearly was still learning, and I didn't have time for newbies. And she's looking or whatever. She said she looks the same about a week ago, whatever. She still look like she's 6 weeks. Not that I'm not seeing no changes. Look like it may be less than 1 week now that has digressed. Y'all, I sat in the room. There was like 5 people in the room trying to determine what is going on with me. No woman should be in that space. No woman should ever be in that predicament. And the fact that it took like 5 people, there was nurses after doctors coming in and out of the room. One of them just stepped in, said switch the ultrasound thing and do the other search. Next thing I know, nothing was said, nothing was told. Incomplete pregnancy, and walked away. Being in that environment, you know that those people kind of don't care. The reason why they don't care is because, like, these people, you realizing, like, people are coming in to kill their own child. So you have this mentality of just like, oh, well, they don't give a fuck. Why should I? Like, that's what I was given. And I wasn't one of those people. I wasn't trying to be an evil person. And the manager knew more information than I did, and she was just like, oh, you have an incomplete pregnancy. And what that means is the sac is still holding on to pieces of the embryo that did not go through you. So now I had to go through that process, and she said it was unhealthy. Like at that point, it was just like that when you have that type of pregnancy or incomplete pregnancy or whatever, it's not healthy for your body. So you have to like get it surgically removed. The procedure was only 3 minutes long, but I promise you, it felt like it was 3 hours. In the pain, I was not sedated. I was nothing. I felt everything. I went through. I literally felt everything to the point where I was numb afterwards. I naturally just went numb. I feel like I collapsed within myself. Sitting in the room, going through this whole recovery process before I get discharged to go home. You're looking around. It's fucking disgusting. And I promise you, I seen this one chick go in looking 6 months, 5 months. I mean, she had a whole belly. Next thing you know, the belly is gone. And I'm just like, what, yo, like, my point is, what I'm trying to tell y'all, when y'all sit here and lay with the people that you lay with, you be smart. Be fucking smart. Because you, and I'm not saying that men are trash, stuff like that, but if you end up going through that stuff by yourself, you're fucking with yourself mentally for a long term. You know, I mean, I don't know, you probably don't know, but you're fucking with yourself for a long time. I finally got discharged. I went home, and I promise you, I emailed at the time, my manager. I said, can I please come in? I took the day off to do, the recovery and all like that. But at that moment, I didn't want to be in a space by myself because I didn't know, I didn't have the ability to sit here and fight for my strength. So I wanted to distract myself. So I went to work and got to work. Second manager was looking at me like, are you? She knew something was off. I confessed, and she told me to go the fuck home. So I went home, and just later, one of my friends came over and like just spoke to me. One of the persons I actually confessed to, and I told throughout this whole process, I actually told my ex at the time this information and everything that was going on as well, because we was talking things out. But anywho, he was by my side through everything, and despite everything that we went through, he didn't have to meet her. And you just realize, like, this little shit that make you want to work things out. You could have did it. You could have worked things out, but life goes on. Life goes on. Fast forward, I thought losing my dad was the worst thing that could ever happen to me. But when you go through that situation, when you lose a child, that outbeats it. Losing a child outbeats losing a parent. We fast forward to a whole year later now. I'm in a space in my life where I accepted, I accepted my choice, my decision, and everything I went through. I accepted the truth. I accepted me. I had to love myself a whole nother level. I pretty much had to mother myself throughout this whole process. I had to grow up. I had to change directions. I had to change the ability. My love for love had to change. My love for myself had to change. I unlocked a new strength in me. And I got to the point where it's like, after I lose a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for one. But it's just like, I want the timing to be right. Because I made a promise to myself that if I ever laid again, and I do end up pregnant, I will go through it. I can't take another loss. I can't deal with it. I just have to accept it. Like, this is what it is, whether you're ready or not. Sometimes when you do, you can't plan a pregnancy. I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, even if you're not ready, you just gotta accept it and go through it. And I know that when my time comes, that I will be the best and amazing mother ever. And I can't wait, and I look forward to that day to come, but only in God's timing. Like I stated earlier in this episode, please be careful who you lay with, and be careful with decisions that you do make. And be aware as a woman, be aware of what you're doing to your body. Once again, my name is Alicia, and that's Real Talk.